What is going on, everyone? JScry99 here with the high round tips and tricks guide. There's a lot in this one. So, yeah, there's a lot. So stick with me here. We're going to go map by map, but at first I'm going to talk about like universal things that are on any map. First of all is the Hellion Salvo. Pretty self-explanatory, best gun like in history. It's insane. I would say one trick with it is a blast furnace. There's a supposed thing where you can get more drops with it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to have it, whatever. Reduce use of your special weapon. The less you use your special weapon, the faster you will get it when you do use it. So try use your special weapon the least amount as possible, especially if you're doing insane high rounds. Do your best to not move the box. If you don't move the box, you'll never get a fire cell drop, which means you have better chances of getting, useful drops like insta kills or max ammos. If you're thinking about what perks to use, let's say you have 3 perks and can't really think of a 4th perk. Tortoise is an excellent one. Victorious Tortoise is never a bad choice for perk. Always a good perk. Higher sensitivity. Put your sensitivity a little bit higher. Having a higher sensitivity allows you to move around quicker. It can help you avoid getting hit. It can make you dodge stuff easier. So I do recommend a higher sensitivity. When it comes to special weapons, Viper and Dragon is the one to use if you're in the Chaos story. If you're in the Ether story, however, depending on the map, you use Path of Sorrows or Rags. Rags are typically on every map. Path of Sorrows is more so used for Blood. Blood of the Dead is when you'd use Path of Sorrows. I classified you can too, but it's personal preference more or less. Trap timings. If you start using traps like you would in Alpha Omega, Blood of the Dead, 9, Classified, etc., you want to be able to time your traps. So you use it and you want to be able to know when I get back to it, it is ready for me to go. That way you don't screw yourself or maybe have to take another lap and waste time. Time it out and so you really get it down so you can be as efficient as possible. When it comes to your equipment, Wraithfires, Striding Weapon, Strife with the Stiletto Knife. Those are your 2 best options. Like every time, by far the best options. Shield use. Use your shield as much as possible. If you're running Tortoise, to play it, you can play it safe and just run around with your shield so you never take damage. A lot of people do that, especially in hardcore realistic. It's very common you'll see people just run around with shield. So I do recommend running around with the shield. Know that if you get cornered and you have Victorious Tortoise, pull out your shield and just wait, and your shield will explode and kill everything around you. There is a chance it doesn't kill everything around you. It just makes everything fall down. You'll be fine. Just literally just get another shield. And just kill everything around you. It's very simple. Just kill 1 or 2 zombies. You can walk your way out. But using your shield is very important. You don't want it to break a lot, because if it breaks a lot, the price of the shield does go up, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to talk about here, which I'm going to take a minute or so, is patience. In Black Ops 4, high rounding is relatively easy compared to other Call of Duties. It more so just comes down to who wants to be in the game the longest. It's a very time-consuming high rounds, all of them. Because, most of you probably won't go for insane world records, like round 420 Intuit Scott. He's absolutely insane. The records he's setting are just unbelievable. And most people aren't going to be going for that. And so if you're just going for around 100, 150, something like that, those are you can do in a day on some maps. There are some maps you can go on Tagged or Toten, you can do around 200 in a day, easily. And what it boils down to is, do you have patience? Because you have to understand that these rounds over time will get longer. So round 30 is going to be, on some maps is going to be a minute, a few minutes or so. Round 100 is going to be 10, 15 minutes. And then when you start getting way up, they get longer. My longest round is 110 minutes long. That's almost 2 hours. I literally started a movie and finished it in the same round. That is how long these rounds can get once you get really high up there. You gotta have patience. 100%, you gotta have patience. If you're gonna go for high rounds, you gotta know that it's gonna take a hot minute. That it's gonna take a while. Always plan it ahead of time. Don't ever just hop in and just go, yeah, I'm gonna go to round 200. You gotta plan it ahead of time. because you have to understand that it takes a lot of your time. It does. You can spread it out over a few days, don't get me wrong. If you're going for a super high round solo, do local. Local means if your Wi-Fi goes out, your game doesn't like end. You can keep going, which is what all the solo high rounders use. If you're going to like a round that requires like a few days of playing, do local. If you're on local, you don't need Wi-Fi at all. So if your Wi-Fi goes out, you're still fine. So if you're doing solo, local. However, if you're going to run megas, you have to be online. If you're doing co-op online or any online game, the game will last 7 days from the moment you start it. Which means if you start Friday at 12 o'clock, you have until next Friday at 12 o'clock before the game automatically ends and your server's like closed or crashes or whatever. But you'll be fine. I doubt anyone will really go to a game that long. 'Cause it's a long ass game. But let's get started with all the rest of the stuff. So first, we're gonna talk about perks. When it comes to perks, typically you're gonna run the same perks on each map. Honestly, PhD. I mean, it's the golden rule of this game, honestly. PhD is just the god almighty perk because of the Hellion. Like I said earlier, Victorious Tortoise, excellent perk. You cannot go wrong with Victorious Tortoise. It's not recommended on some maps like as a primary perk, but if you really just can't think of another perk to run, even for like Easter eggs or whatever, if you can't think of a perk, Tortoise all the way. Stamina Up is a great perk. Stone Cold is your modifier, is an amazing perk if you are camping. If you're not camping, I would not use Stone Cold. Dying Wish is another great perk. It essentially gives you a second life, a second chance. Very helpful. Bandolier Bandit can be helpful. It gives you extra ammo. However, most people just run the perk swap, which we'll talk about later. Luna is phenomenal as a modifier, but only on Ancient Evil, and you'll see why later in the video. But Luna's modifier is a great choice. Quick Revive is another good perk. You can revive teammates faster. You get your health back faster. You start your regen faster and you regen faster. So it's a really good idea. Winter's Wail is not a bad perk. Mule Kick, it's personal preference. Secret Sauce I would use only for ammo swaps, which again we'll talk about later. You'll see a lot of high rounders be using Secret Sauce for ammo swaps. But those for perks, that's essentially it. And then on elixirs, personal preference. The 4 you see I have here is the 4 like almost all players run. And I mean, you got your commons, rare, legendaries, epics. If you're running megas, go ahead and use any of those. Honestly, this game is pretty easy where you don't necessarily need them. The only ones I highly would recommend running that aren't classics would be like ammo and stuff. But if you're running co-op, get rid of Arsenal Accelerator and put on Nowhere But There. That means if a teammate goes down across the map, you pop that and you teleport directly next to them so you can revive them. Very helpful. However, if you're running solo, just run Arsenal Accelerator. These 4 elixirs I have here are the elixirs I run for every single solo high round I've ever done. I mean, I practically never even use them, to be quite honest. Some good elixirs that are megas. Immolation helps because you can get your good weapons, monkeys or whatever, quicker. It also prevents you from moving the box, so no fire sales. Alchemical, because it gives you ammo back and whatever guns you're using. Cash back gives everybody ammo, which is very helpful. Free Fire and Perk Up are 2 good ones. They give you, 4 bonus perks, or I think it's like 30 seconds of unlimited ammo. Most of the megas are relatively useless, to be quite honest. When it comes to epics, I don't really use any of them ever. Perkaholics I use every so often. Suit ups are more suited for realistic, I would say, but for the most part, I don't really use any epics. I really don't. I usually typically just run all classics because the classics are actually more so the best ones. So a quick little trick here in Zombies is to get a free 100 points you lay down in front of a perk. I know this is pretty obvious to most people, but maybe someone doesn't know it. But that's it. It applies to any perk on any map. Another big tip is aim higher. Aim for the head. I always aim for the head. If you aim for the head, it takes less ammo to kill zombies. So if you shoot the body, it takes 5-6 bullets to kill a zombie, which over time is a lot of ammo. However, if you aim at the head, it's literally 2 bullets, sometimes 1 because bullet can go through another zombie. So I do recommend aiming higher. It'll save you a lot more ammo. Next, we're going to talk about the bando swap. This is how to get ammo. So look at my ammo. I currently have 26 bullets in the mag and nothing in the clip or stock or whatever you want to call it. So for you're on Secret Sauce, and you keep hitting it until you get Bandolier. Now, when you get Bandolier, you get bonus ammo, and this bonus ammo applies to all the guns in your inventory, whether you have 2 or 3 guns. It applies to all of them, which is very nice. So the worst part about this is RNG. It's by far the hardest part. And hopefully you have good RNG and you get it. I get mule kick like 4 times. This is a very tedious task. So you notice I get Bandolier. I get 90 in the clip. I reload and the game doesn't work, so I have to reload again. And you notice when I get rid of Bandolier, I keep my ammo. And you just repeat this process until you have full ammo on all your guns, and you go back to what you're doing. Simple as that, max ammos. And you can do that on any map. Now on 9, you get a free perk. And I get Zombshell. You can get any perk that's free. You get any perk. Go to your Secret Sauce perk, whatever. Now let's say you don't want Zombshell. You run to your Secret Sauce perk, get it, and you try. I get it on my first try, which is pretty awesome. So I go back because now I have Zombshell, and I can't get Zombshell twice. And because of that, the perk in the little podium there actually switches, and I end up getting Time Slip. And I pick it up and I take it, and now I have Time Slip. And that is how you switch your perks on 9. Now on 9, if you're doing a high round, for special rounds to speed it up, camp right here in the Danu tunnel. Do not open the door to the flooded crypts. At any reason, do not open that door. And you sit right there, and all the gladiators, tigers, brawlers will spawn right there in that door. They will always there. Once you get higher, once you get to higher rounds, they will spawn quicker. I'm only around 16. So once you get to high rounds, they'll spawn significantly quicker, especially with more people. They'll spawn very fast. And you just sit here. This is actually the fastest spot for these special rounds. It's what all the speedrunners use. It does save you some time. If you're training or camping, it does save you a lot of time. Next is we're going to talk about the free perk. When you do bottom of raw, you want to grab this little cup here, and then you want to run over past Zeus by the crypts, and there's a sword right here, and you pick that up. Then you walk to Odin, and on the level right there, there's the helmet. You pick that up. You run up to the boat, and you hold X on his chest. You place the sword, hold X on his head. You place the crown, and then you have to hold X on like the mouth of the dragon thing, and it'll place the cup. You'll hear like a sword noise. You run over next to this bowl, and you want to put your left cursor right on the tip of that staff, throw it, and it's a guaranteed hit every time. Guaranteed. I've never missed. Bingo, baby. There you go. And once, I always stay to make sure the fire stays. So if you notice the fire is going, but you'll notice it die down, and that, when it gets a little darker like that, that's when you know you got it. About after like 8 rounds, this perk, this like icon will appear. You pick it up, you'll get another free perk. And that is the free Viking perk. Now for the free Serket's Kiss, the Scorpion, you have to open Pack-a-Punch. You run in between Danu and Ra, and there's a bowl that is on fire. You shoot the bowl, and that bowl will tell you where the head is you need. So see this is an arrow. It clearly points to Zeus, but I'm going to show you all the spots. So it's a stone head. It's pretty obvious. On Danu, it'll be right here, like right in the water. It's a clear as day, just a random stone head on the ground. On the Ra perk, it'll be on the bottom, right behind this little cauldron. In Odin, and I point at the wall. It's leaned up against the pot. It's right there. And then mine is Zeus. It's right here. A little trickier to see, but is right there in that corner if you can't tell. You pick it up, and then what you want to do is you want to build the acid trap. When you're done building the acid trap, you place the stone head on the metal grate, and then you have to use the acid trap. And when the acid trap is over, there'll be like a little scorpion-looking thingy. I don't know what that is. Pick it up, and then you have to keep crowd affinity for a while, and you'll hear a voice go like a gift from Serket. You run to the stadium, and then you'll find this blue cup. You pick up the cup, and then you want to go back to the bottom of Danu. In this tree, there's like a little hole. You melee that hole, and then you place X on the ground, and then it'll start filling it. Next round, that cup will be full. What you want to do is go down and pick up the cup. And after you pick up the cup, you run to the mystery box, and you have to go in the left corner of it, and it'll say Poison Mystery Box. You do that, you use the box, and you will get the Death of Orion, guaranteed every single time. You can melee it to give it to a friend if you already have it, but this is how you do it. And now we're going to move on to Voyage of Despair. Voyage of Despair, we're going to do the free perk. Free perk on Voyage of Despair is a little trickier. You have to shoot 6 fish. The first one's right there. I already hit it, and I actually forgot to record it. So just act like I hit it, and it drops right there. And you hold X, you'll get a voice quote and a little noise. The next one, for me, was right here. Keep in mind, these fish do spawn one at a time. All 6 are not on the map at once. This is the order mine were in. This is the 3rd fish for me. It is on Aptex on this little ladder thing. You do get hit markers when you hit the fish, and that is very helpful. The next fish for me was behind the sun deck on this little thing. They are very visible. The very first fish is the only fish that is very hard to see. That is the only fish that is a genuine struggle. Here's the next fish right here. You shoot it down, and then you actually have to run all the way down to the Odin perk, and it'll be in front of the Odin perk. You can shoot it from below the Odin perk, but it's practically impossible, so just shoot it from where I shot it. The next, and I think this is my final fish, was on the long rope from the very back of the boat. This one is tiny, man. This one's a little tricky. This one is actually like my 8th attempt trying to hit this thing. This is a tiny fish. You gotta have some pretty good shot to hit this. But once you do hit it, you do get the hit marker. Wait a second or so, and then it'll fall to the ground, and you can pick it up. And once you have all 6 fish, you got to go to the fish crate, which is pretty obvious crate. I'll show you here in a second. There's the fish. Pick it up. You go to the crate. The crate is right here on the sun deck to the left of this boat. You walk up to it, and you have to hold X and place the fish. And when you place the fish, I don't know, Kraken or whatever will place the perk. And you walk up, and you jump to grab it. And that is how you get a free perk. Now, to get a free Kraken, you have to kill the Stoker with a bullet gun, and you pick up his key. Then you walk up to the chest. Now, this chest can spawn anywhere in the map. There's a few places it can spawn. Mine just coincidentally was right there in the mailroom. And you have to kill zombies to fill it up. Once you have to fill up 3 boxes. Once you fill up the last one, it'll open and it'll show a piece. Now, mine were these stick things. So on each box around the map, certain things spawn. So on this box, there was a compass. On this box, there are binoculars. On this box is actually the stick box. Right here. Then the next box is the telescope box, which is on the poop deck. If you ever need to know where I am, just look at the top left corner. It tells you. Glow box is right here. And so for the free Kraken, you walk up to the box that your symbol was at, and it just tosses it, and you just get rid of the gun you don't want, and there you go. That's how you get a free Kraken. Now on to Blood of the Dead. On Blood of the Dead, these cells, there's 2 cells. There's this one, and there's one on the other side that have a drop in it. For high rounds, you don't have to, you really don't, but you can reset to get a max ammo. That is an option for free ammo. For free points, when you walk through the catwalk, these hands, if you shoot or knife them, you actually get 10 points. You do not get 20 points if it is double points. But this is a quick way to get a few 30, 40 points. To upgrade the shield, you have to have the retriever. You have to get the lock. Hold RT to suck it. When you see the lock turns white inside, throw your tomahawk, and you get the attuned spectral shield because you double the charges. For free monkey bombs, hold X on this little walnut thing and spawn. It'll teleport. Just give it a second. The light will turn yellow. Hold X, walk over, and it'll appear. So that's how you know you activated it. And then for the free monkey is right here under the first dog. Still a little monkey there. You have to get kills with your level 2 special weapon. At least a level 2 special weapon to fill it up. So I'm using special weapon to see the souls travel into the monkey. And you have to get, I don't know how many kills. I think it's like 20 kills, something like that. And then once, it takes a little bit. You might have to use 1 or 2 charges, but I got lucky and got it on 1 charge. And then the monkey head will turn red. You shoot the monkey, and the monkey will fly away. You go back to spawn where you teleported the walnut, and sitting there will be the monkeys. And you pick that up, and that is how you get free monkeys. Now for the retriever, obviously you have to go through the portal here between Warden's house, and then for free blundergat, you want to go to spawn, hit that, throw it at roof, and you get a little blue skull. You know you got it when you see a blue skull in your tomahawk. And there's also like a ka-ching type noise. There's that one. There's one on the docks on a shorter wooden thingy. Then the last one for me was right here. Well, actually, they're all in the same spawn. So the last one I got is always this one. And then you get a free Blundergat. Get rid of the gun you don't want and take it. Now we're going to go on to Classified. For Classified, for 40 crawlers on round like 1, 2, or 3, or 4, you hold X on this door, and he'll say a quote, and then you do this like 3 times. And on the final time, you walk up to the door and hold X. Instead of a quote, you hear Samantha. She's like super pissed, and she's like, he said, leave him alone, something like that. And then crawlers will start spawning. Once the first crawler spawns, if you're holding a zombie, you can kill the zombie and 1 in the round. But 40 crawlers will spawn, and then it's just a big point boost for early round setup. I do advise you, and if you get a double point, that's even better. For a free bonfire sale, go to Groom Lake, and obviously you gotta wait a little bit. This thing will open. Now you gotta wait 3 full rounds, and when you complete 3 full rounds, a bonfire and a max ammo will spawn. So I complete the 3rd and final round, and if you notice, these barricade here begins to lift. When these begin to lift, a bonfire and a max ammo will spawn. I pop a temporal to make my bonfire sale last twice as long. And when your bonfire sale is active, pack-a-punching is only 1,000 points, and then repack-a-punching is only 500 points, and then I believe repack-a-punching past the 4th time is only 300. So it saves you a lot of money. And that is that. And now on to Dead of the Night. On Dead of the Night, we got to get a free folly. So you have to get 4 symbols. Here's the first symbol is yellow. The yellow symbol will always spawn at Forest Terrace. The next symbol is the red. Red kind of spawns randomly on the map. Mine was in the master bedroom. I've seen it in the cafeteria, in the cellar, but there's that. The Gardens has the green symbol. Mine is right there. The next symbol is the blue symbol. Blue symbol is always in the cemetery on a gravestone. And then there is my symbol right there. Once you have all 4 symbols, you walk up to the free folly in the library, and you input the 4 symbols. And don't mess this up, because honestly, this is actually my 5th video. I messed it up 4 times. I don't want to talk about it. But then you get the free folly. You just go ahead, take it. And then, yeah, then you can upgrade it to Chaos Theory and Allistar's Annihilator. Next is Silver Bullets. So the first one is the plate that is in the cellar. Next one is the candle that I found in the entrance hall. Another is the weird vase, I don't know, pot trophy looking thing I found in the dining room. And then you want to do, once you have those 3 pieces, go to the cellar and you melt the silver. Once you melt the silver, you got to get 3 more pieces. What you got to do is you got to go get, you got to get the sulfur from the lab, and then you want to get the charcoal, which is in a fireplace. So here's the charcoal right here. Then you want to do is find the sulfur in the lab somewhere, and then the poop is in the cemetery. And once you get all those, then you go build silver bullets. It's a little out of order here, but that's what it's just a bunch of videos I compiled together. For the cellar secret door, see these little cool like wine barrels? They're dripping. There's 5 or 6 of them that are dripping. They're each dripping at a different rate. What you want to do is melee them from fastest drip to slowest drip. A little tedious, but if you pay attention, you'll figure it out. And after the final one, this back door will open, and I got free points. I believe you can get other things, like I think you can get a gun. I think you can even get like silver bullets. For Ancient Evil, Luna's a modifier. We'll drop these mini max ammos, and it'll completely fill up your gauntlet. Now, that's the only tip for Alpha Mega, really. For Nuketown, melee the head off of every single robot in spawn or in the map, and once you melee the final head, you'll get a little noise cue. It's clear as day. And then you want to go to the Nuketown sign, and there'll be a mannequin there. This mannequin is freaky. When you're not looking at him, he follows you. So what you have to do is you have to not look at him and essentially escort him to the bunker and find a female robot. Now this female robot I found in the generators right over here in this corner. That's where I found him. This part is a little iffy for me. You have to like escort him, and he like wouldn't follow me sometimes. It was kind of annoying, but once you get him, you got to get him to the greenhouse backyard all the way to the shed. When you get them to the shed, you'll hear the door open. See it's open. Look away so they can get in. Turn back around. The door will close, and they'll drop a free self-revive. Do the same. Now, you can shoot off the heads off all the zombies, and instead you'll get a free perk. Now, this is on Tagged or Toten. And then on Tagged or Toten, for a little trick, is get headshots with snowballs on these fire zombies, and you'll get pieces for dynamite. However, for the third and final piece, if you don't pick it up, no more fire zombies will spawn. So I throw it here, I walk over and I melee him, and there's the piece. I leave it there. Now fire zombies will not spawn. It is very helpful. Now for a heat pack, this is the launcher outside the big generator. You want to stay on the top right corner, and you'll land on a wooden pile. Pick up the piece. You gotta run all the way back. Then you go to the middle, like the back middle. It'll launch you across the map. You'll land on another wooden platform type thing, and you pick up another piece. You go all the way back. Go on the top left corner. Sit there. It'll launch you across the map. You'll land on another wooden crate, in which you'll get another piece for a heat pack. And then you go build the heat pack at the top generator, and you take the heat pack. This allows you to be able to sprint through water instead of getting. You'll never get frozen in water, essentially, which is very, very helpful for super high rounds, because the zombies are very fast. Now, there's a bunch of things I did not mention. For example, fire immunity on 9. That I would just look up a YouTube video for that. There's places all over. I couldn't put everything in here because the video would be like an hour long. For 9 and Ancient Evil, make sure you do your challenges. They do give you free perks, max ammo, self-revives, etc. For Voyage of Despair, for your Kraken, which element? I recommend Electric. Electric is my personal favorite. I do like it a lot. For Blood of the Dead, Hell's Redeemer, I don't recommend it. You don't need it. It's honestly a waste of time. And then look up New Industry Strat. That is a very good strategy. It's actually what almost all high rounders use, if not all of them. Very good strategy. I do recommend looking at that. For Classified, you can get a free Winter's Howl. Honestly, you don't really need to do it. If you're hitting for the Hellion, chances are you're going to end up getting the Winter's Howl eventually. It's a relatively simple one to get. When it comes to Dead of the Night, there are a few more secret doors, but most of them don't really give you anything too useful. They're just a little fun to do. Now, the difference between the library and the bedroom strat is that the library is very, very barely faster. However, it's boring. Notice this is the bedroom strat, so it's a little more exciting, a little more colorful, I guess. In the library, you literally just stare at the floor and do nothing. So, up to you. For Ancient Evil, you can get the Exalted hands. Exalted, you look up a video. That is a long guide that I could not fit in this because it's way too long. But it does give you bonus ammo, and your effects last longer. So I do recommend getting Exalted hands for super high rounds. For Alpha Omega, there's lots of codes that I will put in the description. For Tagged or Toten, doing the challenges, you can get a free thundergun, tundragun, self-revive, etc. If you need help, just Google like free whatever on Tagged or Toten, and it'll find it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to help you all out. Come to my Twitch, and I'll answer any questions. But thank you, and I will see you guys in the next video.